Good afternoon, Brian Chavis here at one of the projects that we have, a bank-owned apartment complex. I was brought in to stabilize this property. It's 33 units. We're in day 4. Day 1, we had to actually work with the local police department to help us basically clean this place up. We had a lot of drug activity, a lot of prostitution. So I worked with local law enforcement, Tampa PD, District 2, which we'd like to give a special shout out and thank you to Officer Brown in District 2. So I correlated my efforts with the police department to help clean this property up, showed a presence for many days, I would say about 2 or 3 days before I actually landed on the site and set up an established office. So day 3, we have our office set up. We also walked each unit. Every 33 units, we actually walked and we documented the condition of these units. Once we documented the condition of these units, we then immediately used the form and the documentation and created work orders. And now we have our maintenance team as well as our contractors for more extensive damage working on these units. So we immediately showed a presence, immediately started working on these units, the condition of the units. And then now what I'm doing is focusing on the actual tenants themselves and the non-compliances of the lease agreements, because there's a lot of individuals out here who are not complying. So we have a lot of tenants who have more than 4 or 5 individuals who are not on the lease. Just a bunch of non-compliances, including tenants who have not paid rent over the last 30 days. So now I have to focus on those individuals. A lot of people ask me why I didn't focus on those individuals first. And the reason is the first thing I like to do is get the property, get into the property, inspect it, start fixing up the property, and then start worrying about the non-compliances. And the major reason was I'm dealing with a lot of drug activity, prostitution in the overall neighborhood. I didn't want to cause a stir with my own tenants because then I'm outnumbered. So I didn't want to stir that hornet's nest here on the property. I wanted to get in, show a presence, start fixing the property up, and then slowly but surely begin to deal with the non-compliances of the lease. So it's all going according to plan. Day 4, we're now focusing on the actual tenants and the non-compliances, and then we'll move into the next phase, which is stabilizing the property from an economic standpoint. And what that basically means is we're starting to get a lot of units. A lot of people are starting to skip out because they see the presence of management. So we're turning those units over. We're also doing a lot of evictions. We're turning those units over to a program that we're working with called Section 8. They're giving us market rent. So we're now increasing the rents immediately, which increases the net operating income, which ultimately increases the overall value of the property. So stay tuned as we continue the process of stabilization with this bank-owned property, 33 units. I'm Brian Chavis, founder of the Landlord Property Management Academy.